nothing changes.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And tonight is December 9th, 2019. It's Monday, the start of a new week. And I want to talk about one of the hottest topics, one of the biggest threads, the biggest commented on threads, the most commented on threads in the Facebook groups, here on this YouTube channel, on Instagram, and just across the reselling community and the e-commerce community as a whole. And what I'm talking about is Goodwill and thrift stores, even the Salvation Armies and other mom and pop stores, having their own e-commerce online stores to maximize their profits and maximize their sale prices. And so here's what happens generally. People go into a Goodwill store and they notice prices of, let's say, some jeans for $25 or $30, like Miss Me jeans, or maybe some Lucky brand, or some kind of popular brand of jeans that are typically worth about 20, 30 bucks, 35 bucks on e-commerce, and they see them inside of a Goodwill or a thrift store. And so the comment threads start with, aren't Goodwills supposed to be helping less fortunate people or lower income people to be able to get merchandise for a reasonable price? And aren't they supposed to be using that money for programs? And so the truth is they do. They do use that money for programs. There's a lot of myths about Goodwill being, not a 501c, not a profitable charitable business. It's all profit. And that's simply not true. They do use the money for programs. And so part number one is that, their job inside of the stores is to maximize the amount of money that they get for stuff. Now, yes, typically Goodwills, Salvation Armies, thrift stores, those sort of things have a appearance that they are supposed to cater to lower income people that may not be able to go to the mall or afford retail prices. And that's how they kind of built their reputation and their upbringing. And that's true. Bless you, buddy. Bless you. And they are, supposed to have reasonable prices, but they also are not made for resellers to make a profit. Their job is not to allow you and I to make money. Now, because they generally have reasonable prices, $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, they are able to offer us merchandise at a price that we can make money for. Plus, they get so much merchandise that they can't always individually go through every pair of jeans and price it according to X. They just go through and just price everything at $3.99. And so, yeah, there might be some crappy Wrangler jeans up for $3 or $4 in the store, but they also might slip through a pair of Miss Me's that you pick up for $4, and bang, you get to sell them for $34 and make some money. So that is what happens, but it is their job to maximize that. Now, the second part of this topic that I want to cover before I go over to my computer and show you the little news story that I'm going to show you is that that resellers are especially YouTube videos like this and other resellers on social media and Instagram and Facebook and whatnot are the reason that these prices are slowly increasing, or in some cases quickly increasing. And so I'm not going to sit here and say that YouTube or social media doesn't play a part in that. Of course, it has a small part to play in it, but there's a bigger reason why prices go up like they do, and it's not because of social media and YouTube. It's actually the exact opposite. So as resellers, when you began your reselling career, you didn't know what something was worth on eBay or Amazon. So the first thing that you did was you went and you looked it up, right? And so you figured out, like, wow, these jeans are selling for $30, $40, $50. Well, the Goodwills and the Salvation Armies and the thrift stores, whether we existed here on YouTube or social media at all, they know that eBay and Amazon existed. Remember, eBay's existed for 25 years. Amazon's been there for, I think, third-party selling since, well, I've been on there since 2013. So 7 years, probably 2012, maybe 2011, sometime in there when third-party started. So you're talking about way longer than pretty much any YouTuber you watch. I've been on YouTube 3.5, 4 years. Even some of the longer ones, the Bonafide Hustler, Rake and Profit, College Picker, they've been on, 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. So that has existed. Online reselling and e-com has existed way longer than we've been doing YouTube or social media or Instagram or anything of that nature. And so to blame it on that is just simply not true. In fact, if you go look at the Goodwill eBay stores. There's ones from like Goodwill of Southwest Florida, Goodwill of Pacific Northwest. I think it's PNW or something like that. There's a ton of Goodwills. You can look them up on eBay or just Google Goodwill eBay store. You'll find them. They've been on a lot longer than we've been on YouTube giving you videos. Now, do these videos and social media posts, some of them watch these videos and maybe get some ideas? Possibly, but look, they go on eBay just like the rest of us and put these prices up on these items and list them for sale. It's no news. Whether we exist or not, they're still going to go to eBay and Amazon because that allows them to take care of number one and maximize their profits in order to put into their programs or their charities or whatever they do with the money. Sometimes it's pay CEOs who make a lot of money. Whatever it is they choose to do with the money, they have figured out that they don't have to sell a $5 pair of jeans in the store for $5. They can put it on eBay and get $35. And whether we make videos or not, they're gonna figure that out and do it because, well, it's there. eBay and Amazon are no secret. And now with Poshmark, putting out commercials, there was a Poshmark commercial on my TV last night. I pointed it out. I almost filmed it for everyone. But yeah, so while a lot of people like to place the blame all on resellers and YouTubers, feel free if you wanna complain about it, but it's honestly because the platforms exist. That's it. It's just because there's a place for them to go with it. They don't need anyone to tell them about it. They know it exists. It's worldwide known. And so I think it's kind of unfair, the rap that we get for making YouTube videos and social media videos that, that we've caused the entire market to flood. The other side to this, the third point I'll make to this is that if you are completely reliant on Goodwill or on a Salvation Army or on thrift stores as a whole, or places that can go to eBay and Amazon and put their goods out for sale, then you are making mistake number one of being a reseller, is relying on one thing. All your eggs in one basket as a seller, all your eggs in one basket as a buyer. You can't just rely on one or two places. You have to source outside of your comfort zone. And I talk about 12 of those places. In fact, I did a webinar not that long ago, maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and it must have been September, October, that I talk about 12 places that you can source without actually going to a thrift store or a pawn shop or the Goodwill outlet, the bin stores. There's 12 other places to get merchandise. And you know the best place or the best thing about these places? The people and the places that you're gonna go that I talk about in this webinar are places that are either too lazy to go on e-commerce, they actually don't know about e-commerce, or they don't care to take the time and effort to put it forward, or they can't. Some of them have been suspended, some of them just don't have a bank account. There's 100 reasons. There's places that don't know about eBay and Amazon. I know that sounds crazy, but many people don't know you can sell your used clothes or shoes on eBay, or used video games on Amazon. They just don't know. And so all 12 of those places and those ways that people sell merchandise that you can source better stuff for a better price are in that webinar. I'll link it below. I charged everyone at the time, I think like $19 for the 2 webinars. And so they're on sale right now. They're down below that webinar. It's an amazing way to source merchandise. It's only gonna take you one item that you find from my 12 places that will pay for what you're gonna get out of that webinar. And a lot of them are local. Most of them are local places that you don't have to do online. A few of them are online. So check out that webinar. But without further ado, let's go over to my computer. I wanna show you the story from Karen, one of my viewers that sent this to me today, that sent me a really, really great story about Goodwill and its mission. And I want you guys just to kind of see this, to kind of reinforce what I've just said in the beginning of this video. All right, let's check it out, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this video and you enjoyed the beginning half of this video. All right, so this is from Frederick's Goodwill, capitalizing on online shopping, and this is actually Frederick, Maryland. It's out in Western Maryland, if you're not familiar, and it says a worker dwarfed by rows and rows of shelving at Goodwill's e-commerce center on English Muffin Way. If you Google that, you'll see that it's in Maryland. This looks like it could be Amazon, but it's actually Goodwill's e-commerce shelving and storage, kind of like an Amazon, like a mini Amazon. So if you scroll down here, they have a 116,000 square foot warehouse that they say could be an Amazon distribution center. It's pretty big, not as big as Amazon, but pretty close. Amazon's like 250 to 500,000. Anyways, it says that before the center opened, they had no revenue from online sales. And this year, the online revenue was $4 million. Online sales helped bring their total revenue from less than $2 million, which was their in-store revenue, in 2015 to 16 million in 2019, which means they're going to do 4 million online and 12 million in the store because of the increased basically marketing they're getting out of it. And it says they have to fund their programs. So resale is becoming the fastest growing segment of retail. In 2018, consumers spent $24 billion on resale items. The number expected to grow to $51 billion. That's more than double by 2023. That's in the next 4 years, according to a report by ThredUp, the leading online consignment store. What sets nonprofits apart from its competition, however, is its mission to provide job training and gain employment. For every 2 items sold on our platform, it equals 1 hour of training. Not only are we creating jobs, but we're also taking the net out of the sale and putting it back into the programs. Okay, so if you keep scrolling down, you can see that selling donations is the top priority for keeping Goodwill's operations going. The e-commerce center had their ribbon cutting ceremony on Thursday and allows them to maximize revenue. More sales, higher prices, move the e-commerce that has provided Goodwill with several opportunities. First and foremost, there's plenty more opportunity to sell. An item has a 30% chance of being sold in a Goodwill store, more than a 90% chance of being sold online. A used coffee maker that was worth $200 and donated in good condition was placed for sale for the store for $7. After 4 weeks with no sale, the maximum amount of time it can sit, which is interesting. I don't know if that's every Goodwill, but at least this one. It was placed at auction on the website with a starting price of $9.99. It sold a few days later for $36. So they would have gotten $7 for it in store. They got $36 for it online. Now, of course, there's fees and shipping, but they still made more money online than in the store. So obviously, they want to go that route. There's a very small number of people who walk into the store. If I put the coffee pot online, I have millions of people looking at it. Items on the website are seen by more people than those that sit in the store. Over a 4-week period, an item in the Monocacy Valley Goodwill store will be seen by 14,812 people. Over the same period of time, it could be seen by 4 million people online. And better yet, it doesn't have to be pulled off the shelf after 4 weeks. It can stay up for 2 years. Items also typically sell at a higher price. Obviously, the average price of an item sold in the Monocacy Valley store is $4.60, while the average price of the item from Goodwill's e-commerce is $19.84. That's almost 5 times. That's 4.5, 4.75 times the price. So huge increase. The largest miss for Goodwill, probably to this day, was eBay. eBay should have been GBay. We already dominated the thrift marketplace. What we didn't have was the direct connection between the consumer to consumer, which is what eBay created. Now, here's where I wanted to tell you guys when I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. A response to Amazon, although the e-commerce center didn't open until last year. Goodwill International established its online shopping site in 1999. It was in response to eBay. eBay was 95, 96, so about 3 to 4 years later, they opened their center. Well, that was 20 years ago, way before YouTube and Instagram and Facebook existed, way, way before. So they were already in the e-commerce game before that. It just wasn't as popular and not as many people shopped online. Of course, now it is. In addition to providing online shopping, it has a commitment to improving the store's experience. In the future, we want to hire stylists, all that kind of stuff. That's pretty crazy to think of. But the e-commerce center hopes to have 98 jobs by the end of next year, 245 jobs. So that's more people being employed, of course, which gives them a little more overhead, but still. About 60% of the items are unsellable. Goodwill foots the bill to get rid of those items at 5 cents a pound. When donates through the give back box, an average of 16 items per box, only 20% of the goods are not sellable. So they also have that as well. So a lot of good information here. I'll put it up there, but the point I wanted to make, and I know there's going to be some people in the comments with some real opinions on this, but YouTube and social media play a part in stores and thrift stores and Goodwill's donating and selling online. But what they don't cover and what you guys fail to understand when all these, hot 3, 4, 500 comment threads pop up in the groups is that with or without YouTube, with or without social media, they're still going to sell on eBay and Amazon because, well, it's there. They don't need us to tell them. They know it's there. And it's like going to be there if every YouTube channel closed up, if YouTube went out of business and closed right now, the thrift stores that are open now and open tomorrow are still going to sell on e-commerce sites. So no, don't blame your favorite YouTubers or social media for causing all of this. Is there a part in it? Sure. But It's mainly just because it exists and it got popular, and they're going to do it anyways because they want to maximize their money. I'll leave you with this picture that's up on the screen. I think it's pretty interesting. This guy with this setup. Look at the photo setup. Look at the background. And look, he's using Limo Studios. Look at their photo setup. How crazy is that? He just plops it down, takes the photos, and they're in business. Check that out. How cool is that? And they've got multiple, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple photo setups, multiple shipping, packing. Look at the receiving. Look at all the clothes donated. So they are learning by doing this what can sell and what doesn't. And so there you go. That's their setup, just like you would hope to have one day in your business. Look at that guy taking photos. So there you go. That's Goodwill and their e-commerce business and the truth behind it. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Thank you again to Karen for sending me the link, and I will link it down for you guys to read further below. Have a wonderful night. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just showing you the story, but I can't wait to read all of your comments. See you later, guys.